Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Library of a Redhead. My name is Shri, and today I am going to bring you my first book review, and that is going to be over Shiver. The first thing I want to tell you about is a little bit about the book. The main characters are Grace and Sam. It goes back in time a little bit, and it says what happens. Grace was attacked by a pack of wolves when she was a little kid, and that's kind of how she first encounters Sam, because Sam is a wolf. Grace was attacked and she was fine after that, but something that ended up happening is that she was left in a car whenever she was a little kid. Her dad left her in a car and she ended up getting, I think it was like pneumonia. She gets really sick, and so that's why everyone thinks that she didn't turn into a werewolf, is because she got really sick, and so her temperature was raised a lot, like she got like a really high fever, and so that's why she didn't turn into a werewolf. They shift based on temperature. So whenever it's really hot in the summertime, that's whenever they can be humans. But whenever it gets really cold in the winter time, when the temperature starts to change and it gets really cold, that's when they turn into werewolves. Whenever they get older, or whenever, the temperature starts to change, their lifespan, or the amount of time that they are human, starts to shorten. Sam knows Grace because Sam was the one that saved her whenever she was a kid, and so he always kind of had this connection. And for Grace, she just always had the connection for the wolf version of Sam. That's the only way she recognized him, because of his yellow eyes. It starts to pick up whenever Sam was working at a bookshop and Grace comes in, and that's kind of their first encounter where they are seeing each other for the first time as both humans. I don't really want to give too much away, but I just kind of want to let you know kind of how it starts out and how it builds up. Things that I really kind of liked about this book. It really has a kind of Romeo and Juliet feel, because there is this thing that kind of stands between them, the whole turning into a werewolf. And the thing is, the whole village knows about wolves, and there's been an attack on one of the other boys that goes to the high school, and everyone thinks he ends up dying, but really he just gets turned into a werewolf. And so that's really kind of the big thing, is there is the town against the wolves, and there's this big tension and trying to hunt down the wolves and kill them. Also, I like that the chapters are short. So it makes it a really easy read, and it's a really, like, a page turner, because if you think about, we, as book readers, we're always just like, one more chapter. And so because the chapters are so short, you just keep turning the page and you keep reading it, and I really like that. And it also makes it really easy because of the way that Maggie writes. It's very descriptive, and it very flows, and it's very almost like lyrics. And so I really like that, because it really gets you into the story. And you keep picturing everything, and that is what really draws you in and keeps you reading, is because just her words, they're just really beautiful, the way that she chooses her words. Other things that I don't like about it, and that I know that a lot of others don't like about it, is kind of the relationship between Sam and Grace. Like I said, it's very Romeo and Juliet, so they are very much like all about, the other person. Grace is all about Sam, and Sam, the yellow-eyed wolf, she's seriously like a wolf girl, obsessed with wolves, and Sam thinks that Grace is like the most beautiful person on the planet. Like, there's nothing wrong with Grace. She is perfection. Whenever they're together, Sam is basically staying over at Grace's place, so like every night they're sleeping together in the same bed. But I mean, one thing is that I know as teenagers, you would think that it would be really hot intimacy, like, they're gonna be like pouncing on each other, especially if he's a wolf. Werewolves have, the high testosterone, they're going to be, like, jumping at each other and very sexual tension. But it never really, there's build-up when they're first together, like, they're touching, there's that heat, like, especially if they've kind of known each other since she was a baby, and there's that person, you would think, having them right there next to each other, that something would happen. Except for, it never really does, it never really pans out. Okay, and then one of the other last things that really kind of bothers me about the book is that Maggie touches on one of the wolves, never found a cure. She talked about how wolves would try and leave Minnesota and go to other states that are really hot, or really other hot climate temperatures, but she said that it never worked out, that it never actually stopped the shift, for them beyond the shift into werewolves. And so that's why I guess other people didn't try to leave or try to find a cure. And so my thing is, if they know that it's about temperatures like that, they can at least try to go to other places, or they could try and study and find other cures. And what the issue with this is they make it seem as if, I mean, a couple of wolves left and they tried to go to a hot place and it didn't work out, and so they just gave up. But then now that Grace is here and Grace is trying to find a cure because she loves Sam, now is whenever everything is really trying to happen. And so I really kind of have an issue with that, and the way that they never really went into how they actually really tried, or really the history on it. I really wish that there was more history to the pack and the relationship and stuff like that. That's kind of how I feel. I do like the book. There are the great things about it that I like, and then there's the other things that I kind of wish that they, went into more detail, or she kind of would have described some of it more. But I definitely like it. Like I said, it's a page turner. You really get into the book and the wolves and trying to see if they find a cure or what's going to happen. Is Grace and Sam going to still be together, or is something, drastically going to happen? Like I said, it's very much a Romeo and Juliet feel, and all of us love Romeo and Juliet. So if you love Romeo and Juliet and you love kind of the relationship and the aspect of it, then you're going to love Shiver. And if you guys like the review, and if you want to hear me talk about Linger, what happens to Grace and Sam, then definitely give me a thumbs up, comment, down below, tell me what you think. You can comment and tell me what you want to read, but if not, then I will tweet and I'll tell you guys what is the next book that I'm going to do. I'll put it on Instagram and I'll let you guys know so you guys can see what I'm talking about next. So thanks for visiting my channel, The Library of a Redhead. Bye!